All right, let me know when you guys can hear me. Hello, hello. Got my eye on the chat here. How's it going, Sean and John and James, Roger, Mark, Awesome Possum, and Anthony? How's it going, guys? Welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. Go Via, go home here. And welcome to Third Rail Thursday. Tonight, we're going to do a bit of work on the layout. How's it going, Steve and Denny? Welcome, everybody. We're going to do a bit of work on the layout. And it's very dark down here. I notice how dark it is. So with the starting of the yard and working on that, I do want to add some lights like I did in the other room. So I'm going to be doing some of that tonight, and you'll get to see me do that live. Most of it involves LED strip lighting, and I still have a lot of the strips. You can kind of see them. I wrapped them around the wood here, but yeah, a lot of this is from my old layout, and I've got a few pieces like this one here, where they were cut. They're shorter pieces, but that's okay. And I'm going to do full-length strips from front to back. The way that I did it on my previous layout, it was along the front edge, which I felt was okay. It was still pretty bright, but there was a lot of shadow still in the back. So I figure run it front to back as opposed to along the front. And it looks better on the layout in the office. But we'll see how it looks out here. The LEDs don't come right out over the front, so I still plan on changing the bulbs here. So that will definitely make a difference for sure. Pine Valley, how's it going? If I did miss you, I'm totally sorry. So I'm using my wife's new laptop. I don't know if it's gonna make any sort of a difference here on your end, but it looks cleaner on my end. And it's only just to read the chat. I can't really, it won't let me go through the chat and go all the way back up to the top, but I did see that there was a bunch of people there. And just for everybody's sake, you all get Timbits. So if you were the first one, I'm really sorry. I have no idea. I'll check later though. But yeah, Timbits for everybody tonight. Also, and I'm going to show you a bit of an overview here. You can kind of see with this camera, this is how the bottom level of the layout looks right now. And I've covered right up to about, right here, just past the laptop. And so far so good. I've got the rounded corner here. So I had cut this corner piece off back there. And then I obviously put that piece in there, and then I posted that right there. And one thing I do like to do, and I'm going to show you this here. This is just a regular piece of wood. I normally have a bunch of these laying around because I use these for the modules for my second level. It's super light, and that's why I use it for the second level. However, I have these long pieces, and I've measured out, and you can kind of see there's a whole bunch of holes here. And, I've got, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. And then when you go right on the top like this, I don't know if you can see that. When you go right on top, that's 35 inches. So with the nail, or the screw, I guess you could say on this end, you put that down onto the wood, and then it creates a giant swinging arm. And those are your radius curves. So that's how I make mine. I just take the pencil, put it through so that it sticks like that, and then create the whole swinging arm. Keeps the consistency, which is really good. And I usually go on the bigger curves. I do about 2-inch centers. So I've got quite the variation here. I just noted, okay, well, if the last one was 28, so the next one is going to be 30. and I do a 30-inch radius right after that, and I scribe it out onto the wood. And you'll be able to notice, and I don't know if you can or not because I only used a pencil, but I did mark out a bunch of lines already for my yard. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to get going on this thing. And I've got big plans for it. So I do want to do the Mac yard, or a variation of it, because I can't fit the whole thing in here. It has two sections to it, one being the main yard where all the cars are, and then another section which has all the locomotives, the maintenance facility for the locomotives. But I'm going to combine them, and I'm doing my version of it so that when you look at it, you can kind of say, oh, okay, that kind of looks like Mac yard, or I can see how you did that. But this is kind of the pencil rendition, if you will. And the way I did this was that I took my measurements. Let's say, I don't know, this is, I know it's a little over 3 feet. Yeah, it's 40 inches, and it's probably 40 inches out this way as well. So what I do is I do half of that, and I do that in inches. So if it's 3 feet, I'll do, oh no, sorry, I did that, I said that wrong. I do it in inches. So if it's 40 inches, I cut that in half, and it was 20. So what I did was I marked out 20 inches, or how big did I? Oh no, sorry. Okay, so it was 3 feet. So I cut the 3 feet in half, which is 1.5 feet, right? So I turned that 1.5 feet into 1.5 inches, so that I'm able to do, like, I'm able to downsize it here by half, and then that's how I just mark out everything as far as, you know, distance of your track and the size and what I can fit. The only thing I haven't really done yet is the actual maintenance part, which is going to go in the center of this giant reversing loop, which that goes down there. I just haven't figured it out yet, but I will. So it starts, it's a double track Y, and goes in a loop. And then there's several bridges that go over top of the tracks as well, which is really cool, because you got the famous 407. There's no tolls on mine though. Highway 7, and then there was another one, I can't remember what the other one was. It was like a, you know, just an overpass. But I'll be including all three of those bridges, one over here, one right here, and then one right back here as well. And it all goes right over the track, and I can load them up with cars, because traffic in Toronto is brutal. I don't know if you've ever been. Take the train. Hey, Anthony, how's it going? Mr. Dwight Corley, how's it going? And Brian Ferguson. So I'm very excited about this. As you can tell, I've been quite busy. In the other room, do you guys want to see that? Because I've been doing a couple of things in the other room as well. I'm going to do this exclusively just for you guys, because you're all here and you all want to see Third Rail Thursday, and this is how we do Third Rail Thursday. So, part one of what I've been working on is the paper mill. So this is the building that I've been working on every Saturday for, well, just this past week. You guys know that I've been doing some brickwork, and I had to paint all these individual little bricks. Such a pain. But I got all the way down, and so far so good. I've got the entire front of this done. I still have to do there and here. But I'm also adding these racks for my sodium chloride cars, which I don't own yet. I have to get a couple, but these are the loading, unloading racks for that. And of course a little Mini Prince tank. I might get another one, or I might change that altogether. I'm not sure yet, but I thought it looked neat there, so I just sat it there for now. Going to do the same tile pattern, but these ones are a little bit smaller, and I have to put the concrete stuff on top of that and paint them, and then I'm going to do that right across here and tie in these racks with it as well, just so they kind of blend in. And this whole thing's on a platform. I glued it to a piece of masonite, and this will keep that strength. And if I have to move it, it's going to all move as one piece, and it's not going to break or anything, hopefully. And once I was done the brick on that side, I did add some of my quote-unquote grip tape to the top. It's just the roof tar. I think it's a nice touch for up there. Looks cool, but I do have to finish more brickwork. So I'll be working more on that, doing more of that stuff on Saturday. It's a pretty big kit, but yeah, come back on Saturday and we'll be working on that. Another thing I've been working on, and I'm going to show you up here. This is the maintenance facility. This is the main Go via maintenance facility that's supposed to be in Whitby. It's in its place right now. I can still remove it if I need to work on it, but I've been working on the approach to it as well. I've got these big foam, 1-inch foam pieces here that I might use just to bridge it to, you know, an area here and expand the land a little bit so that I can, you know, go out this way and eventually go into where the wall is so I can put a hole in the wall. That'd be fun. And then I have a whole bunch of switches that I need to add here. I don't have them yet, but I will, hopefully. And yeah, I again, this is just another project that I've been working on to hopefully get done, but just chipping away for now. And of course, I cannot forget the Helix. The Helix, I started that about a week ago, and so far I'm only to here because I only have so much track, so I'm going to be going up and up and up and eventually getting to the second level, but I have to do a little bit at a time. I also need to run the second track from back there, and that's going to continue on up as well. But all of my angle irons are in place, so I can just go ahead and I can add more curves as I get more track and whatnot. On top of that, we've got the Lego train, and I still have to expand on the land where my son is going to basically have the Lego city, which is going to be on the other side of this build, or on the other side of the Helix here. But he's patiently waiting, and I'm sure we'll get that done shortly. It's on the list. All right, hey Robin, how's it going? Whose kit is the maintenance facility? Well, it's a Walther's kit, but it's 3. It's 3 kits. Well, it's 1 kit times 3. So I just made a custom thing on a platform. If you go back and check my Rail Talk Live, I have them a special playlist for my Rail Talk Live, and you'll be able to see the maintenance facility build from start to finish. And I worked on that for like 2 months. So yeah, go back and check that out. Yeah, it's really awesome. I really like it. It lights up and everything. But it's not done. I need a lot of detail parts for it, and I have to place an order. Unfortunately, Canada Post isn't delivering anything, so there's no point in ordering if they're not going to really deliver. So, that's why I have the wrench, baby. That's right, Mark. Let's see. So, For this build here, you'll notice I have a train station here. There's actually no train station where the yard is in real life. So even though I'm trying to make it, somewhat realistic, I have to tweak some things. So this is going to be my go station or via station, whatever. I've got a bridge on that side, and at least 6 feet of track in the middle. So the 6 feet, that's where I can fit a locomotive with at least 5 cars, or 5 and a cab, something like that. I can't remember everything. But yeah, that's more or less what it is. So we got our station platform that's going to go right along here. Probably going to have to curve it a bit because of how the layout goes. But at this end, you come in, your cars are going to be right along here, which is awesome. And then you're going to be doing all your switching and stuff right behind it. And there's going to be some small industries throughout on the backside, just to incorporate local switching as well. I know it's a lot. I looked at the prototype and I kind of said, okay, what do I need? What can I keep? What can I get rid of? There's going to be way less tracks, of course, than the real thing. But that's strictly just based off of, I don't want to add so many switches, and you might need to be a little bit bigger to fit as many tracks as they have. So there's going to be like a section of 3 at the back. Then there's going to be a bit of a space, because those are where your tank cars go at the back. And they're separate from, the intermodal that might be closer up. I've got 2 more sections of yard where there's going to be a set of 3 and then a set of 4 tracks with a little bit of spacing in between the sets. This will allow me to put some CN vehicles and maybe like a roadway going up the middle, so that the crews can drive right up and they can go the entire length of the yard, basically. Of course, it's going to pinch all into this way, which is going to go past that bucket there, through the wall, and then down the other way, which I can probably show you as well. Which you can kind of see here. It's going to all pinch again, but we're going to do a double track loop, and the outside track is basically just main line that's going to loop around and come back on itself. And then the inside is going to be a Y. So it's just going to split, and then it's going to come back to itself. And then at that point, at some point on that curve, I have to brake it and then put a auto reverser, just so that I can, wire it properly. But that's kind of how I have it planned. And so far, so good. So we'll see what happens. So one of the big things is needing track and switches. Cork, I'm going to do what I can with the big pieces of cork that I get from the dollar store. By the way, don't tell anybody I get cork from the dollar store, because it's probably the cheapest and easiest cork to find right now. And it's the exact same thickness as Midwest. Where is my cork? So these are the cork sheets that I use. And it's 1 square, or 1 foot by 1 foot squared. And I can cover a large section with these. I think it's you get 2 of these for $3. They used to sell it in a pack of 4 for $4. But yeah, I don't know what happened. It's just becomes more hard to find and expensive. I'll have to fix up the station as well. I think it needs some TLC, if I'm being honest, because I had that on my last layout, and I'm just going to recycle it and put it on this layout because I really like it. And then I'll probably want to fix up these platforms as well. Um, I did have some spots here where I had some lamps. Not sure if I'm going to put them back or if I'm going to just change this all together and make different platforms. That I'm not too sure of, but when I get to it, I'll let you know. So as far as my LED strip lighting, and it's already kind of sticky because you remove the backing and then you stick it to whatever. I saved almost all of my strips from the last layout simply just for the fact that it's expensive. It was about $26 for 15 feet. I'm going to change that, sorry. There we go, now you can probably see better. It was $15, or sorry, $25 for 16 feet. Get my numbers mixed up. $25 for 15 feet. I think that's correct that time. But yeah, you just gotta save it, right? It's still good, it still works, so why not? And of course you can cut it. There's little notches like right here. That's where you normally would solder your wire to it. And so you can kind of see that's how I cut it on the last one. I could probably unsolder that, but not a huge deal. So what I'm doing, need to be a little bit less than 2 feet long. I think I'll cut it right here. And then I will do a couple of these. Hey John, how's it going? And Trackside Mike, how's it going, Mike? Okay, so far I've got about 3. Strips. Let's see. So let's bring it over here. I'm also going to get rid of this because I don't need my screws right now. Okay, so I just got to make sure I don't make the same error that I did when I was doing my building. Because what happened when I did my building? I got my wires mixed up, and then the lights wouldn't come on. I also want to make sure that all my wires are going in the same direction. Now if I need to, I'll come back and I'll hit that with the hot glue just so it stays in place. But it should be okay. Keyword should. But only time will tell. I also try to avoid any metal under here. So the only metal besides screws, which aren't even exposed, would be these angle irons. So I just got to make sure that it's not touching the angle iron, and then I should be good. I also have a big box of wire, and I plan on using this first, as long as I can. I'm gonna have to get my wire cutter and my solder. And for that, I'll need my screwdriver. Now, of course, Third Rail Thursday wouldn't be complete without two other people. We've got Denny from N-Scale Dystopia. He normally does the first Thursday, well, going forward anyways. And I do the second week, that's why you're here. That's kind of a kind reminder that it's Thursday. And of course, next week we'll be over on Mark's channel, M&M Rails, because he does the third week. And normally, we do GVO After Dark the last Thursday of the month, but this month it would be Boxing Day. So typically I don't do shows past Christmas, and that includes the Saturday show. So there won't be a GVO After Dark this month, unfortunately. And usually, and if you've never seen a GVO After Dark, basically we do a recap of the month, we talk news and other railroad-related stuff, new announcements and whatnot. But yeah, I always tell the guys to take Christmas off, you know, until the new year. So I think James and Mike, who normally do the Monday night stream, Off the Rails Monday, they might be doing a Christmas show. I'll wait for them to announce it, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. They're going to do a special just before Christmas. And then we'll be back in the new year, of course, with Denny, and he's going to be on the, I want to say it's the 2nd. January 2nd is the first Thursday. But there's 5 Thursdays in January. So it'll be Denny, then myself, and then we're going to have a mystery guest, and then Mark, and then GVO After Dark at the very, very end of the month. It's going to be a full month for you guys. And Springfield happens as well. Springfield happens, so when we come back from Springfield, we'll have lots to talk about. So it should be good. We always have something interesting going on here. Never a dull moment. Okay, solder iron on. I'll let that heat up, and I'm going to get my thing that I use for soldering. If I can find it. Here we go. Okay, so while that's heating up, I'm just going to double check the chat. Okay, Eagle Creek, how's it going? Floyd, how's it going? If I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. Okay, December 23rd on Trackside Mike's channel. So yeah, make sure you guys are there. I'll be there with bells on, Christmas bells. So that'll be fun. By the way, bells are not a requirement. Just, show up and have a good time. Just in case you were thinking, well, I don't have any bells. Can I still go? Absolutely. So it'll be fun to add lights here because it is, like I said, it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark in the other room too, but once you add the lights, it definitely changes the overall look and feel of the whole thing, right? So that's kind of what I'm going for here. Get the lights going, and then get the track and whatnot in place, and then start running trains. Because even with the old layout, it took me a while before I actually added those lights. It's probably because I needed to have the bench work right above it done first. Which here I'm almost done my bench work. I've got very little left to do because most of it was already built before I even got here. So there's that. So I guess I can do this one for there to there. And then, yeah, I'll just have to cut that down. So another thing that I need to do is I need to hit these spots here where I'm going to be putting the solder. I wonder if it's almost better to pull it down. This way. also need a small red wire. This should go a lot better than my wiring of the building. It's not as tight of a space, but it's still kind of, it's more dark than anything. Hey Russ, how's it going? So I'm just tinning the wire. Putting a bit of solder on there. This way it'll stick to the solder that I put on here a lot better. And I'm going to have to do another connection here. If I could go without soldering, period, that would make this more enjoyable for me, I think. But there's certain things you cannot skip with the hobby, unfortunately. So you just got to make the most out of it. Which one did I do? Oh, this one. Oh, you know what? I'm going to replace that one. That's going to go here. I'm going to get my hot glue gun so that that way I can hold the whole thing in place here. Kind of have to glue it as I go. And then I like to cover up the connection spots as well, so that if anything metal does touch, it's not going to short out the light. So if anybody needs the link for these lights, I know you guys have seen them on my last layout, but if anybody wants the link, let me know. They're probably some of the best lights I've seen as far as LED strip lights. I wouldn't really say it's a kids show. I'd say it's kid friendly, but yeah, not necessarily for kids. I don't know any kids that can afford these trains. There's the portal. It's gonna go through there, and then trains will come up through here. Just waiting on the hot glue there. So I've got one set of these wires is going to connect to this one, and then the other set is going to hopefully reach over to this one here, which will be this, and then I can just chain it right along, and hopefully that works. Because that's all I do really, is just chain them. What's this? Plastic from something. Put that over there. Just need the glue to heat up. It's the problem with doing stuff like this live. It's a little bit more tedious, but it's still possible to get it all done. I know most of you are waiting for me to put another hole in the wall, but I already did all that. So what I'll do is I'll probably string up a couple of these, and then I'm going to connect it to the other side here. And then that way you can see how the whole thing will look lit up. Well, at least half of it anyways. I understand that it's tedious work, but it is what it is. It would help if this glue stick kept stuff falling out of here. Okay, so that one strip is up, which is good. So this here goes like this over to this one, and it's supposed to more or less go to there. So we'll do this and snip that. Make these a little bit shorter because you don't need that extra overhang, you know. It's just got to keep it tidy, you got to keep it up. That's going to hold on to that. And then I'm going to have to cut this one down here. Then there's a lot of extra here. Now, with this wiring here, there's one base power supply, and it can do the 15 feet. Has a, I think it's a 9-volt power bar at the end of it, but I've done more than 15 feet, and the light, it gets dimmer closer to the end. But if I'm doing a bunch of these, so that's like 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet, you know, I'll be able to get a decent amount around here, including in there. But I might end up putting a power bar at that end and coming back this way as well if I need more light up front. That way I can just kind of add more lighting and you won't see it because the valance will be, or the fascia will be in the way anyways. I'll let that heat up. They sure do, Mark. I bet I could show you. So this is how I have this one wired here. And you're going to have to forgive the mess because I wasn't really, prepared to this. But yeah, basically my power supply runs down and under, but there's the off and on button. And this is, I believe, not the brightest setting, but it's not the lightest setting. So you can go real bright, like daytime bright. Makes a huge difference, right? You're going from dark and gloomy to daytime, basically. It's like night and day. Terrible joke, I know. But, that's eventually what it's going to look like. And it's all done with a push button. So I just wanted to show you guys the difference. Sometimes it's so bad trying to get light here, I'll use my phone to give me some light because there's a flashlight on it. But at the same time, it's like, because I'm controlling these cameras with my cell phone, I can't even do that right now. So Oh, you know what? I might have to put a hole in the wall tonight because I'm going to have to feed the wire through it. So technically I have to put a hole in the wall. But it's just for wire, so. Pretty sure I said that this would go from here to here. This does involve a bit of planning ahead as to, where am I going with the wire? How's that going to go? Pre-soldering it so that I'm not doing it upside down like I was at the beginning, because that's painful. Oh, you know what? That has the little bubble things. Is that this end as well? Here we go. Did I mention I can't wait to run trains? Hey, Big CW, how's it going? Chris is in the chat. Okay, so which way did I put the positive and the negative? This is going to be my biggest problem. My positive will always be my red, and my negative will always be my white. But I always got to make sure putting it at the right spot. Wasn't too bad. Didn't suffer. Again, most of this will get covered up with fascia, so I'm not really too worried. Cool. So I did those, so those are okay. And this is the next piece to go on. And it's going to be positive and negative. So Cut the blue wire. There is no blue wire. I specifically didn't use blue wire. Now it makes me wish I used blue wire. If I can't bring the wire to you, I will bring you to the wire. I know. Should I be doing this on cardboard? Probably not. But ouch. That wasn't too difficult. I'm just excited to see how this looks when it's lit up, which I should be able to do in a few moments. Just a few. Green wire. No, I don't even have a green wire. Red and white. Red and white. Red being the positive, because it's my favorite color, just in case anybody was wondering. And then white, because black and white are negative colors, right? That's how I remember. Anybody else get lots of snow? Snow sucks. Oh man. It was fine when I was younger, then that way I could go snowboarding or whatever, but I don't do that anymore. My knee doesn't allow me to. Find some more wire here. I need more wire. Oops. Oh, this is a pretty good piece. Oh no, they broke out the French. I don't know what they're talking about. Seriously, I have no idea. Y'all lost me. Look at all these wonderful buildings that I need to put on the layout. They're all in the way though. So as soon as I build other parts of my layout, I can move all this stuff and then start building up here. That'll be fun. All you can do is little by little. Hope for the best. Hopefully this reaches. Oh, it will. Yay. I also use the hot glue to kind of keep the wires up, you know. Just need a little tab and it holds true. I'm using single strand wire. It's just, I have some here. Yeah, so when oh yeah, here you go. So yeah, it's just a single copper wire. One red, one white. I think it is a 22 gauge. It's either 20 or 22. I can't remember. I don't remember because the packaging is elsewhere now. I think it's in the recycle. Or maybe I have a full roll still. But I'm pretty sure it's 22. I'm like 99% sure that it's 22 gauge. You get a whole roll. I think it's 100 feet. 200 technically if you're counting the fact that there's two colors. From the Home Depot, and I think it's like 30 or 40 bucks. It's not bad. You can run it as your bus wire. Like I use it as bus wire. I connect it to my rails as my feeders. I do everything with it. Again, I just like to keep it simple. I don't need to do 50,000 things. I just do one thing. Okay, so I want to connect this to there, and I want to add this to the other part of the layout. So we're going to do this again. And I have to see about a hole in the wall because I got to put a hole in the wall. 1 second. Doesn't need to be a massive drill bit, it just got to be a drill bit. Also don't want to put a huge hole in the wall, not that it matters. That'll do. Let's see where that landed. Oh, nice. Okay, so that should be long enough then. And it's not going to disrupt anything because nothing else is in the way. Look at that, one and done. I said out loud during lesson, wait, that's not right. Hopefully this is long enough. I'm pretty sure it is, but we will soon find out. And the red wire goes on the inside. So it's going to go there. Probably won't be able to see much for a second here. You'll just have to take my word that everything's okay. Well, that worked like magic. Okay, just want to see what the inside here looks like. So it came up a little short, maybe about 4 or 5 inches, but that's okay because I've got so many of those little connector things. I want a small one. Here we go. All right, so the next thing I'm going to have to do is make wires for the other side. Again, this is probably like the best wire stripper I've ever used. And I've only ever used 2, so I don't know if that says a lot or what, but out of the 2, that's the best one. That's the best one. We are almost there. We're almost able to light this up. As you can tell, it's not a 5-minute job, you know? So, if I get some of it done, even if it's just some, I still feel like I've accomplished a lot. Keep that separate, and I think I'm gonna have to take one of you with me. Let's leave that one there. Let's take this one. This one has done absolutely nothing. Alrighty. Let's see how much that can see. Okay, yeah, not bad, not bad. Going to need solder. And extension cable. If I'm really quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. Oh, you suck. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Why doesn't it want to stick to it? There, got it. Okay. I think the soldering part is done. Because, yeah. Mostly because I said so. But, we'll see here. I just need some, these clips. And I'm going to prep the hot glue gun. And then it's just a matter of connecting all this together. Where did I put that little piece? Did I leave it? I might have left it over here. Oh, I did. So I'm just using one of my little terminal joiners here. That way, if I do need to take apart the lighting for whatever reason, I haven't done too much damage. Spoke too soon. Okay, so I just disconnected the power for the actual lights before I start connecting it to the rest of the layout here. Did I not loosen that? I guess not, because now it's loose. Okay, so I just got to fix that one piece then. And I'm also going to hot glue that up. Ah. Now that that's glued up, I need to get the solder one more time and fix this one piece. So we should have lights on in like less than 5 minutes. So this is basically going to connect the lighting in here without there. I don't have any track out there yet, but I'm really excited to get all this done because it just means it's one step closer to running trains. Okay, we seem to be connected. I hope. I am quickly just gonna fix that up there with some hot glue, and then I'm going to test it. I'm gonna test it and see if we've got lights on a little bit of the layout, including in here. Well, I know lights in here work, but if anything's backwards, I'll know. I think that's why I only want to do a little bit at a time, but just in case. Okay, so nothing metal is touching that. So we should at least have 3 strips that come on here, which is going to be this entire corner right here. This corner will come on, hopefully. Hopefully there's no fire. Hey, look at that. It's brighter already. Okay, not terrible, but obviously there needs to be more light, right? Also, these little web things, I hate these. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that because it's like, for what I've done, you know, that's 4 feet there. Another 4-foot section done. If I run this one to here, and then another one over, that's another 4 feet. So I'll do 4 feet at a time and test it, and then keep going around. Oof. But yeah, there we go. Carolina Foothills, how's it going? Steve 87th. I don't think I said hi to you yet. If I missed anybody else, hello, hello. But yeah, there we go. So we got some light. So that's inside the office there. And then when you come outside the office, I'm probably going to have to add another piece here, because if I have something here, I'm going to want some light coming this way. But lighting coming in over the main line, more or less. And then out here will be covered by whatever light I've got going on up above. What time is it? Current time is, I don't know, o'clock. Oh, it's 9:25. Oh, okay, so I did an hour and a half. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ugh. Dang. Okay. So that was fun. Yeah. I didn't get as much done as I thought I would, but it's tedious. It's very tedious, and doing electrical, I always have to, you know, take my time with it. Unfortunately, it's going to be a pain because I don't like doing it, and it's very painful for me, but I'm pushing through and I'm trying to get as much of this done. Corner sections, like there's a corner over here, not going to be too much of a fan of doing that, but again, it's got to be done. So I'll see if there's a way to do it where I can, I don't know, kind of make my way around that corner without stressing too much about it. But overall, you know, sitting here working the yard, it'll be really fun. And then I can, more or less, I can also dim the lights and then do like a night session in the yard, which will be fun too. Especially when you've got like a GP9, the little beacons and all that. You want to be able to see all that. So I'd call that a win. I'd call that a win for sure. Definitely brighter. So very happy. I love that part. Which part? Stephanie says I need a haircut. Oh. I'm gonna need a lot more than one haircut. Mark, get a haircut? No. That guy's been bumming it for years. Students always running, good time at school. Mark is still, yeah, it's weird. Mark, isn't it past your bedtime? That is weird. Are those RGB LEDs? No. So what you're referring to, the red, green, blue, would mean that they change color. These do not change color at all. Sean, I think I have your number, right? Yeah, I think I have your number. I'm going to send you the Amazon link. I'm not an affiliate. I'm just looking to help people out. If you're looking for a really good LED, I almost swear by them, but I didn't find them. Dave Coe, he found them originally, and he recommended them to me because I saw how bright and how nice his layout looked when he added these LEDs. So then I just ordered, like, I think I needed like five boxes for my old layout, 5 or 6. Because, yeah, they're 15 feet long, so I had a lot of swivel to do. That one was easier because it was mostly straight line, and then when I went around a corner, I just kind of curved it. Where this one here, it's just straight, you know. So there's a bit more wiring to it now. And if I can show you, this is all it is. So with your, because it comes on a roll. This is your power supply, right? It's a very basic, I think it's a 9 volt. Does it say 10? Is it a 10 volt? I don't know, but it's no different than a cell phone charger. And this is what you get here. This is a really long piece. So at one end you can see how the wire goes right into it. So you don't have to do any wiring when you get these. Don't be confused. I'm doing this the difficult way. So here's your little control thing. Thing. There's a sticky thing on the back. I've already used it with the old layout. And then you've got your power button, and then positive to go brighter, negative to go not brighter. And then, of course, the other end of this cable here plugs into your power supply. Just like that. Plugs into the wall. And then, yeah, you're good to go. With my old layout, I had my wires plugged in all the time, and I would just turn them off or turn them on with these. And I did, it took me 30 feet to do my bottom level, and then another 30 feet to do my second level. And then there was small sections, so you can always run wire off these like what I'm doing here to connect small pieces. Like if you need to add another little piece to go the entire length, depending on the situation, you can always add on more to it. I think, what was it? I think it did about 1.5 per power supply. So half of the layout was probably about 22 or 23 feet of the cable, and then I did the exact same on the other side. So I had 2 power supplies for the bottom level on, they'd all light up, and then do the same thing for the second level as well. For the top level, it was a little different. I had started making valances with, I can show you because I have those still. I didn't throw them out. They are kind of worse for wear now, but I made valances for the top part of my layout. So it went up against the ceiling like this was flat against the ceiling, and then you can see all the LEDs along there, and they're just basically pointing down, and then I would have them back and I would connect all the wires together, and I had 1 power supply for that. Yeah, right now it's just extra wiring or extra LEDs for me, but that's all it is. So yeah, if any of you need the link for that, I'm pretty sure they're still available on Amazon. I don't think I bought them all, but bought them over the course of a couple of years. So yeah. I was curious because you mentioned nighttime running. Yeah, so when I dim the light, it's just not as bright. I don't add like a blue to it or anything. I could go along the front with a blue light or a purple, like a bluish purple, but it's not too big of a deal. I don't normally do, like, even with the old layout, I never really did night running sessions. It's something I wanted to do, but I never got a chance to. So I'm just hoping that this time around, it being a smaller layout, I can do some of that. Okay, I'm tapping out. Thanks for the laughs. I didn't tell any jokes. Were you laughing at me the entire time? Uh-oh. Someone's gonna get a letter. Let's see, how many levels this one going to be? Oh, just 2. Just 2. Level 1, level 2. I don't want to go through all that and then have to take it down again. And I'd like to be able to run trains and actually not necessarily finish, but get to a point where it's like, oh, you know, a lot of this is decorated. And seeing as how some of it doesn't even need to be, like the helix, it's more or less just like this section and then this section. It's way less. In the amount of time that I worked on the other layout, I could probably finish this one in that amount of time. So I'm hoping that I get pretty far on this one before, I don't know, I have to move or something. Knock on wood. But that's it. That's everything I wanted to do tonight, Third Rail Thursday. We're getting there. Come back on Saturday, of course, because we'll be doing Rail Talk, and I'll be working on a kit, and we can talk trains some more. If I missed anybody in the chat there, I'm truly sorry. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. See you in Springfield. We're going to Springfield next month, and I hope to see you there. Come up, say hi. Mike and I will be at the Otter Valley booth, so make sure you come by and say hi and see what we've got for you. Ooh. Secrecy. No. But seriously though, guys, you guys have been great. We'll see you on Saturday, and then next week, of course, we've got M&M Rails, and on Mondays, don't forget Trackside Mike and Dundas Junction Model Railroad. I've got a train to catch, and it's